Why, hello, Madeline. All right, we are on lesson 4-4. Guess I'm using yellow. Lesson 4-4. All right, so we're on page 191. So no new vocab words, that's nice. So example 1, we are starting with solving equations by dividing. Solving equations by dividing, and we have 5 total examples. Okay. Example 1. Example 1. So we have 5c equals 120. 5c equals 120. Okay. So where am I going to start here, Logan? Yeah, because right here, what this is saying is 5 times c equals 120. So I'm going to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division, because I want to get c all by itself. Those 5's disappear, and I'm left with c equals 120 divided by 5, which is going to be what, Ellen? Yeah, 24. So c equals 24. All right. So those ones aren't too bad. I know you guys have done that before because we worked on that a little bit already this year in 8-7 math. All right, so that's example 1. Example 2, solve equations by dividing. We're doing more? Oh, that's just with negatives. So that's the exact same thing except there's a negative. So when you're dividing, when you have one number that's a negative, then you're going to have a negative answer. If you have 2 negative numbers, you're going to have a positive answer. So that's the only difference with example 2. So I'm going to skip that one. Okay, example 3. We'll do the real world example because those word problems are always more challenging for us to understand. Zoos. A drive-through safari zoo charges $25.50 per person. I'm going to write that important piece of information down. $12.50 per person. And that was for admissions. In 1 hour, the park raised $675 in admission fees. $675 made is how much they made. Write and solve an equation to find out how many people visited that hour. All right, so let's see, how would we figure out and write out this equation? Well, my total here, the total is $675. That was my total amount of money. So that's gonna be all by itself. So 675 equals, whenever you see the word per, that usually means it's going to have a variable with it, like an x. So I'm gonna have $12.50. I'm just gonna write 12.5 times x because I'm multiplying it by the hour. So I'm figuring out how much they spent or how much they made. So I'm going to take 675 and divide it by 12.5. Give myself some room here. So 675 divided by 12.5. So what I like to do here is I usually add in I multiply both numbers by 10, so I can get rid of this decimal place. So I now have 6,750 divided by 125. Since I multiplied both numbers by the same number, that's okay. I'm going to get the exact same answer. Okay. So 6,750. So 125 is going to go into that. I'm going to look over here and cheat because I don't want to do it all in my head right now. So it goes in 5 times. So 5 times 125. So 5 times 5 is 25. Put a little 2 right there. 5 times 2 is going to be 10 plus 2 is 12. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1, 6. So I'm left with 675 minus 625. So I have a 0 right here and then a 5 right here. Bring down my 0. 125 goes into 500 4 times. So 4 times 5 is 20. Oh, it's going to go in evenly, isn't it? 4 times 2 is going to be 8 plus 2 is 10. 4 times 1 is 4, and then plus 1 is going to be 5. So it went in evenly because it's an even amount of people. So 54 people. 54 people in that 1 hour. And I'm just going to write people the texting way, PPL. 54 people. 54 people. I'm only 25, dude. Okay, Happy Feet, can you please stop? Or else you're going to go for a run. So 54 people. All right. So that was example 3 at the bottom of page 192. All right, let's try example 5 here in the last couple minutes here. So I need to clear this guy. Example 4. Example 4. So solve equations by multiplying. Okay, so this is where I'm going to do the exact opposite of what I just had. So y over 4, or y divided by 4, equals -8. So what am I going to do here first, Ellen? Exactly. So 4 times 4, what that ends up doing is canceling it out because 4 over 1, that's what's going to end up equaling there. So the 4's cancel out, and I'm left with y, which is what we wanted. We want just y to be by itself. That's the whole point of what we're doing here. And then -8 times 4 is going to be -32. -32. That's all I do for that. So the opposite of division is multiplication. So you multiply both sides by whatever's in the denominator. All right. So sometimes you will see that you have a variable in the denominator, and that's a little bit different of a process, but it doesn't look like you guys even have to do that in this lesson. So I won't teach that yet, because we might be doing that in the next lesson. Okay, example 5. Example 5. So solve equations by multiplying by the reciprocal. Oh, okay. So I have -3/5 x, and that equals -6. So Logan, what am I going to do here to get x by itself? Divide it or multiply it by the reciprocal. So -5 over 3 and -3 over 5, those are going to cancel each other out because 5 and 5, they both cancel each other out. And then the 3 and the 3, those cancel each other out, right? So I'm left with just x on this side. But since I did it to one side, I have to do it to the other side. And now I'm going to just multiply straight across. So -6 times -5 is going to be +30 over 1 times +3 is going to be 3. And then 30 divided by 3 is going to equal 10. So 10 would be my answer. So x equals 10. All right, so that's all you're doing for multiplying by reciprocals. You just flip your fraction, and yeah, you woe it, and you make sure you have that negative sign in there too, because a negative times a negative, that'll cancel each other out. All right, so that's all you guys have. So you guys are doing page 194, 2 through 40 even. So same old, same old. All right, guys, go ahead and get cleaned up. That's all the time we have in class today. If you have questions on some of your math problems, just save it for tomorrow. I'm going to have a little bit of time in class tomorrow where I can answer math questions. So just circle the ones that you have or that you're having issues with, and I'll help you out tomorrow. No, I'm not right now. Just put it on my desk.